Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
And we're back. Guess what? Time flies when you're having fun. But we have a great show lined up. As Joe mentioned a bit earlier, it is in reference to technology and real estate. And we have three of the classiest and most technical wizards in the house right now.
So let's start off with to my right, which of course everyone out there can see, is Amy Smythe-Harris. Welcome to the show, Amy.
Thank you for having me, guys.
And my immediate right is Veronica Mullenix. Say hi.
Hi, thanks for having me.
And then the wonderful Desiree Savory.
Hello there, how are you?
Good. So we're going to be talking about technology today, and they decided they didn't want segments of their own.
No, they said, you know what? We want to talk to each other. We want to talk to each other, and we want to have a good group open forum, and that's what it's about, by the way. If you have a technology question, we want to put this out there, call us at 800-808-5548, or you can actually get online, go to facebook.com, look us up on the Real Estate Rat Pack, and ask a question there, because we have some great individuals who are all very technology-driven. And let me tell you, technology is really what's driving this market right now. I mean, from e-signatures to e-docs to e-signings, there's a lot of changes going on, and if you're not there right now, what's coming up in the future is going to get even scarier, and more importantly, it's going to be even better in regards to technology.
Well, they did the whole show in the green room while we were sitting there talking. So they said they've already got it all done now. So I guess, Amy, let's talk about, start it off with, what should consumers be looking for? What should they be using? Whether it be apps. I know you're the queen of apps, and I mean, every time I go listen to her speak, I always write down this litany of apps. I have to go download that.
We're gonna have Juice Newton rewrite that song just for you. Queen
of
apps.
Queen of apps. Well, one of the things, since I'm a virtual broker and virtual agent, I give my clients a list of apps to download to make the transaction easier. So they will be, maybe a real estate app that they're looking for mobilely, a scanning app that maybe that will help them when we're in the process. If it's a buyer and they don't have a lender yet, a mortgage calculator app if they need one, and I give them some suggestions.
Or you just have him call Chris, by the way.
Or have him call Chris, exactly. Because we know Chris is mobile and totally virtual, so he's the go-to guy on that. So I give them a list of apps to kind of make life easier for them. I also give them little tools for the moving process, like little iRecycle app or U-Ship app. So there's lots of little things that I help for my clients to give them.
So what's your number one app that you tell them? First thing you need to do is this.
I don't actually tell them this, and what I found is I used to tell them, you need to go to this app to search for properties, and I find that I'm now asking them, what app are you using to search for properties? Because I find they don't want to leave the current app that they're using because they like it for some reason. It's a visual preference. So I find out what app they're using to search mobilely, and then make sure I show them little tips and tricks on that app.
Awesome. And Veronica, the same thing. I know you work a lot with technology.
Yeah, I too have my clients download specific apps for signing papers onto their phones and even attaching it to their email client. I ask, like Amy, what are you using now? And to find out what they're comfortable with. And if I have something that's in maybe another generation forward, I might suggest that they switch. But we just have to find out the consumer's comfort level with the apps they're currently using. I've actually, in asking them about what they're using, they've introduced me to some cool apps.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get from y'all. What's the cool apps out there? Tell me.
Well, one of the first ones, I'm a DocuSign user, so I like my clients to have DocuSign Ink on their phone. It's free.
I agree with Veronica. They use it outside the real estate transaction, like medical record releases, school release forms, and that's one of the ones they always come back and say, that was the greatest app you told me about.
Yeah, they can attach DocuSign Ink to their email client. There's a version of it for Outlook and Gmail and et cetera. So they use it after the transaction to sign everything in their life.
That's awesome. Desiree, you're over there quietly. You actually teach people how to use these things. So when you're talking to people about how to use technology for real estate, how do you kind of guide agents and you probably don't do that much with consumers, but you're telling the agents what to do for their consumers. What are you telling them?
Well, what I do tell them to do before they actually get into the transaction is to make sure they understand the process. When they're talking with their consumers, the realtors have to make sure they understand that the consumers don't understand real estate. So make sure they speak to the consumers as consumers. That's the first thing. Look at them from that lens as a consumer and separate themselves from the consumer and talk to them as a consultant.
You know, as a whole, I've always found the real estate industry to be a little bit resistant to new technology in the realtor community, not in this room, but as a whole.
Not.
And so when you get somebody who is, you know, a baby boomer,
right?
What kind of issues are they dealing with, or they just don't want to deal with it at all?
Well, the first thing the biggest common problem that I find that a realtor that's new into the industry has is to understand that they're running a business. So if you don't understand that you're running a business, then you're off to the wrong start. Your base has to be your contact management system. And if you start out with that, then you're off to a good start.
You have one that you recommend?
No, I don't.
Oh, I've got some ideas.
Amazing.
Well, this is Amy. So I've spent quite a lot of time recently researching a lot of the CRMs out there because I was trying to kind of revamp my contact database. So some that are very popular across the country that agents are using, as well as just consumers or small business owners, contactually.com,
right.
And it's a mobile app as well, followupboss.com. And I will give my disclaimer. I know the app developers on both of those really well, so they're great to work with, great support staff. Insightly is making a huge impact across small business as well as the real estate community. And those are the three top ones I'm seeing. There's other ones out there, but I'm still seeing those kind of winning out of why agents are picking those.
Yeah, and I agree that those three are great. The reason why I said I didn't want to say that I didn't really want to recommend him is because, like, contactually, I love that. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about actually using that one, Amy. I love that app because of the social networking integration with it.
Correct.
A lot of the agents don't want to use social networking, so I wouldn't actually recommend it to them initially for newbies. And the reason why is because I don't want to set them up with something that they can't sustain right away.
Don't want to overwhelm them either.
Right, I don't want to overwhelm them. So, like, if they're using Outlook, for example, initially, I might say to them, okay, start out with your Outlook. But the thing is, garbage in, garbage out, right? So you want to get them started off and let them understand what they're using. No, I'll be the first person. I might want to put myself out there and say that I really honestly don't think Outlook is the way to go for real estate. There was a time when I was just teaching Outlook like crazy. But it's like it's just not the way to use it. If you're doing real estate, you need to use a real estate app.
You know, well, Top Producer was like the #1 for a long time.
And I actually was going to talk about Top Producer. The feedback I get a lot from my agents out there is it's too much. It's too hard. We don't have the time to navigate it. We don't have the time to set up all the templates. So that's what I hear back from agents.
Something that I ran an IT company for 15 years. So I don't even like to talk about that. That's like, you know, saying you're a doctor and everybody's got a hurt elbow all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So I don't mention that I ran a technology company for 15 years. But when it comes to CRM, I found that there's every flavor under the sun out there. There's no CRM program that I've ever seen ever in my life for any business that has every component that everybody wants.
That's absolutely right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So what you have to do then as a business owner is understand what your strengths are and match those strengths with the CRM. I mean, even if the program had everything, you're not going to use it. It's overwhelming. There's so much that you can do with data. So if you have an app that's strong on social media, well, if you're not strong on social media, then it's not going to do you any good. So that's a wasted feature.
That's exactly how I feel. I'm an Outlook junkie, and migrating over to an app like Contactually is a slow migration, and I actually have dual going. I won't give up my Outlook. Everything that's in Outlook stays in Outlook, and I duplicate it in another CRM.
I'm a secret Outlook user too.
Okay.
Well, you know
we're on the 12-step program.
They're going to have the 12-step
program.
The problem is, if you're on that platform, though, when you're using Microsoft Outlook, go ahead and try going over to a Mac. It doesn't work the same.
Yeah, it doesn't work the same.
No.
But I'm with you, Joe, because I tell agents what's the best CRM. It's the one you'll use.
That's correct.
And it has to fit how you work.
That's
so,
right.
you know, that's where they start.
And if you use 30% of it, you're using a lot of it.
That's true, because like Joe said, there's a lot to every CRM, and a bulk of it you won't use.
The key is to use it.
Can I add some things since we have some Outlook junkies in here?
Everyone's raising their hand.
Yay! Okay, so when I was in Outlook for a PC, I used it was called Zobni. It was an add-on, and it's XOBNI. I loved it.
Inbox spelled backwards.
It's inbox spelled backwards. I love that one. And the other one I use is Boomerang. So when you send out an email and you're like a week later, did they respond? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Boomerang sets it up where you can set up where when they send an email out, if they haven't responded in 3 hours or a day, it automatically emails them back saying you haven't responded to Amy's email. Here it is. So the problem with Outlook on Macs, you don't have that capability. So, but I love Boomerang, and Boomerang is great on Gmail users as well. A lot of Gmail users use Rapportive, so instead of Zobni.
I am totally writing that one down. Boomerang.
Boomerang.
I need that all the time. Email is my primary form of communication. I prefer it over anything because it's a written history. And you don't get the he said, she said, well, you never told me that. No, really, I have every email dating back to when this PST file started.
Right.
You know, like 10 years ago. It's like a 6 gig file now, you know, but I keep everything. So I love email, but that's one of those things where I send it off and now it's out of my head. And I'm, you know, a week later,
Boomerang
they answer.
will remind you or send you some feedback if they've opened it or
totally
not. Same with
that.
DocuSign. When you send out DocuSign documents, it tells you when they've looked at it and viewed it, but didn't sign it. So it's a call to action when you get that feedback from the system.
You
from
get
the
that
app.
same thing in ZipForm Plus now too. That actually has an interaction.
One thing Mac Mail users that are out there, one thing I missed on my Outlook was the delayed delivery. So I would set up delayed deliveries for option periods over. Have you done your utilities? Well, I didn't have that in a Mac Mail, so I finally found an add-on called Send Later that will set up delayed deliveries for my clients. So,
and that's for Mac?
That's Mac Mail.
Love that.
You know, time flies when you're having fun, and we're only 15 minutes into another 30 minutes we got to go. We are coming up against a break right now.
Got to pay for the show.
Got to pay for the show somehow, so stay tuned. Remember, you want to reach us, 800-808-5548. Lovely ladies are still in the house, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Immovable object like me, you can bet as sure as you live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give.